Okay, so we are at a bed and breakfast in the Wausau area, doing an investigation, and we're going to go around and do some infrared photography, see what we capture, and I'm just going to follow Shawn as he takes some photos.
And this camera, we can actually do both infrared and full spectrum. So when we do the infrared, we use the infrared light, and same with full spectrum, we use that light. And lots of times we just take random photographs using these different types of settings because it's possible we might just pick up on something. So lots of random photographing. I wonder how many people have hit their head on this.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You see our new laser grid. This is a new version of it, which actually creates more of a checkerboard pattern instead of the ones you've seen before with dots. This one's a lot more effective as far as being able to see something pass through it.
So with these photos, can we go through and look at them as soon as we're done, or do we
We can put them
wait until the end of the
download them
night?
onto our computer, and we can actually just review through them. And that way, that's the best way to do it if you can, because then of course, if you captured something, then you can kind of focus on that area right away instead of next morning you look at it and you're already gone from the site. So it makes more sense. Hold on in here, but turn that up. Yeah, it's a pole cam on it. Now the thought again with infrared and full spectrum is that these are different types of lights or light that the human eye can't see. So that's the thought that we possibly we could capture something paranormal under those different types of a spectrum of light that our eyes aren't picking up, and that's why sometimes we can't see these things.
We have a lot of other equipment set up here. You can see one of our cameras on the staircase landing with wire attached to it running to our DVR system. We've been told and experienced that there's possibly a child or an animal, maybe a dog, that is here. So we brought a couple of little stuffed animals, hoping that we might be able to convince one of the ghosts to interact or play with one of these. And then we have a REM pod sitting in the middle of this group of stuffed animals in case we actually get some activity on it. Could you explain the REM pod a little better?
Well, the REM pod is kind of this it runs along the same lines as a EMF meter, which is electromagnetic field meter. It's picking up any changes in the magnetic field. However, it's not picking up in the electric field, it's picking up more in the natural field. So, for example, when I run my hand near this, everyone has their own natural field around their body. I will set it off if I get close enough. So it's a natural EMF meter per se,
Okay.
and it's very sensitive, but only to a certain distance. As you can see, I got to get my hand pretty close before I'm going to get a reaction.
So we'll be keeping a close eye on this tonight.
And if you're wondering where we're at the Rosenberry Inn. I didn't know if Betsy already told you all where we're at. It's a house that was built in 1906 and moved into in 1908. And a prominent judge in the area, Mr. Rosenberry, is the one who owned it, or acquired it, I should say, after it was half built.